I have never seen a movie's anticipation jump so close to release of this movie. I remember months ago seeing like a teaser for this movie. I was like, okay, that's interesting. As a horror fan, it's on my level. I'll keep an eye on it. And then for the past 5 days, the marketing, the social media for this movie just blew up. And I went to a theater tonight with 50 plus people in this auditorium. I'm honestly shocked, but hey, the power of good marketing, this movie is proof. Longlegs stars Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, and is about the pursuit of a serial killer. An FBI agent uncovers clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. From writer and director Oz Perkins, the man who brought you Black Coat's Daughter and Gretel and Hansel, comes his brand new feature, Longlegs. Like I said in the beginning, this movie just out of nowhere grew so much hype online that there was a lot of people in my auditorium tonight, and on Twitter, I'm seeing a bunch of people are saying their theaters are packed, and I'm honestly shocked because Oz Perkins is a director that when he makes a movie, it's different. It's out there, and I can't lie to you, I have not loved any of his movies, but this movie just had the anticipation be built to another level that I had to go in saying, listen, I understand there's a lot of hot markets right now are advertising this movie, and a lot of young people are like, I want to go see this scary, scary movie. This movie is a weird horror movie, and I want all of you to know that. Now, is it a bad one? No, it is not, because Longlegs is one of those movies that when it ends, you're going to walk out and you're going to think about it, and you're obviously going to say your opinion, but I think the movie leaves you questioning things, good or bad. I think the movie does a very good job just sticking with you. Let's begin with these pauses. Micah Monroe is awesome in this movie. She is just up in her job, and she is there to do her job, and she plays it fantastically. Seriously, I've loved her since It Follows, and seeing her career just grow and grow, and then this performance comes out. She is so damn good in this movie. And to follow her character and learn more about her past and why this case is so integral to her and why is so interesting, the way the movie plays through the story, that I was never bored through this movie. I wanted to know the mystery and this investigation going throughout, which leads to our killer, Longlegs, played by Nicolas Cage. I'm not going to talk any spoilers. All I'm going to say is, you know Nicolas Cage, and he is Nicolas Cage, and he is unrecognizable in this movie. Nicolas Cage gives one of his best performances of his entire career. He is unsettling. He is disturbing. He is so just not Nicolas Cage, but when you see the movie, there are moments of like, that's Nicolas Cage. So again, I don't want to spoil anything about him because he's been very heavily in the marketing and him not showing his face, but in this movie, Nicolas Cage, man, just, you gotta love the guy, and he just goes for it in this movie. This movie is also shot beautifully. I think the cinematography is literally perfect. The lighting, the darkness, the shadowing, the editing with certain shots being confirmed with different aspect ratios. Seriously, this production value is so good. This movie, I believe, is set in like the mid-90s, and I only knew that because a certain president was behind someone's office desk. I was like, okay, so this is the 90s, I'm assuming. But what this movie does is just completely enthrall you in a serial killer story that feels different enough that you're sitting there watching it, and what is happening to these characters and what's happening to the people getting killed is so just different that the movie keeps you on your toes enough to where when it ends, you're sitting there wondering, like, did they do this for this reason and that for that reason? So this movie does a good job of saying, maybe you should watch it again, because after this is, I've only seen it one time, and I really like this movie. Like, I think this is a very well made movie, very well acted, incredible sound design, incredible direction, writing, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to say this movie's perfect. I'm definitely not going to say it's the next Silence of the Lambs like some people have said in the marketing, because the only comparison is it's a female FBI agent. That's it. Like, do not compare this to one of the best films ever made. I'm sorry. Just stop that. Just because she's a female FBI agent. But let me start with my first, like, negative, and really it's just honestly a first watch issue. There are things in this movie that I'm confused on. My friend brought this up, and he said, this is totally a plot hole, and when I think about it, I'm like, Yeah, that's a plot hole. There is something in this movie with a certain character and a decision made that when it is revealed at the end of the movie is like, why would that character do that then and why? It's definitely something that like maybe on second watch it would make more sense because again, this is only a first time reaction really. So I find things in the movie that kind of don't make sense. There's a really intense scene in the very beginning of this movie and I honestly don't know how that connects to what the actual investigation is about. It was a great scene, don't get me wrong, but like I'm confused on why there, why that. Was it to show off a certain character's aspects? Because again, the movie does go in directions I wasn't expecting. And I'm not going to spoil anything for this movie, but just don't go in expecting it's a straightforward serial killer manhunt movie. There is more to this movie that I really liked, and it involves the third act. Again, no spoilers. My friend agrees. The ending of this movie and what the overall happenings is different, original, and very intriguing. But we can both agree that something in the plot line does feel like we've seen it before, but this movie does it in a really cool way, in my opinion. So again, I walked away saying this movie is shot so well. Amazing performance from Nicolas Cage and Micah Monroe. The cinematography, the music, the editing, the aspect ratio, how the film is just put together. Like, it's such a disturbing movie. Will I walk away saying it's one of the scariest movies ever made? No. But I'm a guy that's seen 500 plus horror movies in my life. This movie is definitely a disturbing one, but nothing I will say like it's the most scary movie ever. But I recommend it to a select few. I'm gonna give Longlegs a strong B plus. Truly, I do say this with the honesty of my heart, and I say if you like weird, disturbing horror movies, go see this movie. But if you like just your basic horror plot lines and something that's very straightforward, I'm not going to recommend this one. I'm not. It's definitely, it's out there. It's different. I like a lot about it. A lot about it. Just a few issues with the plot. Again, I honestly am saying all this because it's a first watch. I would happily watch it again and maybe some things would be better or still confusing. Definitely a movie I might have to watch like a analysis video of certain things because I'm like, what did that mean for this certain character? So again, very good, and I'm very happy that people are going to go see this movie because it's a neon little movie and it is being talked about. So love the horror community, love seeing it. Anyway, guys, you guys enjoy this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.